probably know about the Hollywood Tower Hotel in California, the building that helped inspire Disney's Tower of Terror. However, there are some lesser known inspirations, including Miami's Biltmore Hotel, the Chateau Elysée Apartments, the Royale Apartments, and possibly the Valencia Hotel, aka the Pink Lady. At first glance, these buildings share an iconic red roof tile. Most significantly, their low pitch angles help keep the water from pooling onto the buildings. And did you know that Disney prevents still water buildup to keep mosquitoes away? Then mosquitoes do love the static H2O. Also, the clay tiles can withstand intense heat, and the red color comes from the Mediterranean, where the Spanish Revival architecture originated. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's been quite a while since I studied art history in college. The similarities do not stop at the roofing, they go way deeper. If you look at the Tower of Terror's concept art from around 1992, the tower resembles something much larger, capable of holding actual guests, unlike the finalized tower concept that is only a drop tower attraction. Before Disney committed to the Haunted Twilight Zone hotel concept, Imagineers explored a few ideas, and I do apologize if my eyes be glaring and dancing around. I have like 5 pages of notes that I'm like looking at back and forth. These plans included a Frankenstein-inspired castle, a ghost tour hosted by Vincent Price, an attraction narrated by Mel Brooks, who is still alive as of filming, and even a standalone hotel to draw guests further down Sunset Boulevard. And you know what's kind of wild? If you look very carefully on the concept art, you will actually see something called the Evil Garden. And I'd be laughing. Not sure why the words evil and garden just go together. Eventually, Imagineers landed on an idea of a haunted hotel that transport riders into the 5th dimension, as mentioned in the Twilight Zone's introduction. The original ride system consisted of a first-generation free-fall structure that drops guests vertically before moving them horizontally on their backs through the attraction. In fact, the ride system is a reason why Disney built Sunset Boulevard in the first place, despite the fact the ride system got completely scrapped and changed into an oldest elevator lift that we see today. You know what's fun? You know what's wild? Fun fact is, do you know that the Tower of Terror is called a lift, not an elevator? This way, the oldest elevator company, who also builds the elevators for all the Disney resorts, actually does not have to follow all the Florida regulations when it comes to speed, height, and how fast the elevator can go. That's how they skirted around the Florida elevator and transportation regulations, allegedly. So going back to what I'm saying, is that even though Disney no longer needed the entirety of Sunset Boulevard to launch and to finish out the ride, Imagineer or Michael Eisner actually decided that a 199-foot 11-inch tower would not look very good next to the Chinese theater. And also, long lived the largest hidden Mickey that consisted of Echo Lake, the Chinese theater, and one movie set that got replaced with Sunset Boulevard. So poor Mickey Mouse, now he's like half Mickey and half Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit. Even though you know, especially if you played the Wii game Epic Mickey. And Imagineer suggested building including a haunted elevator into the ride system. Don't ask me how, or don't ask me who. I suck at names and associating names with facts. To make that work, the tower shaft grew taller and wider. That is when the design drifted away from the Biltmore Hotel's inspiration, morphing into a building with a gigantic drop shaft. And do you know that the drop shaft is around 12 inches thick? And you know what's kind of funny and strange about that is who would stay in a hotel with a very narrow shaft and who would stay in a room that's only 12 foot in width? Yep, definitely some imagination there. Going on to our next hotel, The Chateau Elysée got me really stumped for good. I couldn't see no resemblance until the Park Life podcast pointed out a whole lot of details that I initially missed. These include similar Gothic style turrets, elongated rooftops, lightning rods, and prominent chimneys. No wonder Santa Claus be stopping by the Hollywood Tower Hotel during Jollywood all night long. And don't forget to leave out your milk and cookies because you will really need them when you be dropping 13 stories in your slumber. Then there is the glorious backside, the ninth wonder of the world, and can we get a heck yes and hallelujah, the Captain Break Sparrow on Instagram and Cruise and Theme Park Guide on YouTube for pronouncing the backside of the tower the official ninth wonder of the world, and Waddle, the eighth wonder of the world. We will leave that one to the Jungle Cruise skippers. It's been a long day. And if you look very carefully at the rooftop sections, especially if you isolate them, each rooftop section individually resembles the Tower of Towers' famous shoulders. Honestly, Tower and Tower will make a really good quarterback. Then we got the Royale Apartments' elegant signage. The decorative lettering reminds me of the Tower of Towers' luxury branding between the cursive and sans-serif typefaces. I do miss when hotels utilized elaborate typography to scream luxury from a mile away, especially in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas! And you can still find that neon in the Neon Museum and on Fremont Street. Long live Vegas Vicky and hello Vegas Vic. But there's another detail that I nearly missed in the midst of my rambling. Notice the base surrounding the exterior fire escape stairwell. The same design elements appear on the Hollywood Tower Hotel itself, aka the Tower of Terror, before October 31st, 1939 at 8:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Because the hotel is technically in California, even though it's somehow teleported to Florida, Figment must have been really involved, so blame Figment. And now on to the Valencia Hotel, our very final hotel. The pinkest building of them all, mirror on the wall. Immediately, I cannot unsee the Tower of Towers hallway scene or the gift shop's right exit. These decorative painted walls treatment screamed luxury hotel and a whole lot of moolah. Long before computers, artists spent hours hand-painting intricate patterns and ornamental details. The amount of labor alone began symbolizing wealth and prestige. You can also see that this mentality applies to the wood beam ceiling, and I wonder why these beam ceilings gained popularity in the 1930s around the golden era of Hollywood. And that what really does blow me away is the fact that Disney literally spent hours, days, watched the entirety of the Twilight Zone just to build a single attraction. And there are so many Twilight Zone Easter eggs inside the lobby and inside the facade and on the facade. There's like so much that we would be here for at least an hour going through every one of them. And in the comments below, let me know if you want me to go through every single Easter egg in the Tower of Terror. Put 1 for yes, put 2 for nah, I'll fall asleep. So it is really impressive. What really gets to me is why would the Imagineers spend so much time and dedication painting and doing an entire building based off all the architecture styles and spending all the time meshing all of them together just to make one show building. My theory is that the Imagineers wanted the hotel to be a convincible resort, and because of how tall the building is, people could see it from all around the parks and the parking lots. But yet, what really perplexes me is why was Cosmic Rewind's building painted sky blue and had no show features or no shrill script, even though it is also visible from just about everywhere in the park. And hey mom, I see your shadow. So be sure to check out Nick and Shannon in the comments below, especially if you want them to help book you a stress-free visit to visit the actual Tower of Terror. And with that being said, Be sure to smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to Tony Hotel for even more Tower of Terror content, Tower tidbits, and so hot and sweaty right now, I can barely speak. So see you around, everybody. Bye. Woo! And you know what's really hot right now is when sweat's coming out of my eyeball.